Hey there, do you want to learn data science but don't know where to start? Don't worry, we have a most affordable roadmap for you. CloudML presents AI for All assignment driven data science course for complete hands on practical learning experience with 1 course support mentorship. Covers all the important topics you need and also having additional collection of interview questions for your preparation. Also, you will get capstone projects that you can put in your resume. We will provide personal mentors to resolve all your doubts. They will available every day between 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. for you. Not only that, we have quizzes, daily data science newsletters, blogs and much more. And we provide course completion certificate. Trusted by 1000 plus learners, this is the best affordable data science course available online. For more details, please check our description section. Thank you for watching, stay safe and happy learning.
In this video, we'll look at the algorithm of PCA. It stands for Principal Component Analysis. So what's PCA? First of all, let me understand. So many times the data we are offered consists of many features, which sounds good, but has a challenge. Like if we have a lot of features, then our accuracy gets impacted. So as the number of dimension increases, our accuracy tends to decrease even more. So it's not always good to have a number of dimensions higher. So that's why, in order to solve this issue, in order to reduce the dimensions, and so that we can get a better performance, better accuracy, we use a PCA technique. So PCA actually is not a machine learning technique, but it's an unsupervised algorithm which is used to reduce the dimensions. So as we know, there are too many features. Then PC actually solves the problem of overfitting for us. Let us look how does it solve it. So let me show you a graph here. You can see here that it's a graph and it contains two features, F1 and F2. So let it be that let both of them be features, and I want to reduce them into one feature. So these are the data samples, so which you can see in a they are crossed on the graph. So this cross on the graph are the data samples which are mapped according to the feature 1 and feature 2. So and this is a line which is past fit according to the features, according to the samples. So the samples are mapped and this is the past line passing through them. So we have two features currently. So the intuition behind the PCA is actually that in order to reduce the dimension, what we'll do, let's say I'm looking in this direction. I'm looking from this direction. So if I look from this direction, then I will see a one dimension thing, which is a line. So a line is a one dimension thing. So if I am looking from this point, say this point where my cursor is right now, so I will see a line which looks like this. And what will happen? Then these points will be mapped on the line. All right. Because if I am looking from this angle, then I will see a line, and all these points are mapped on the line, on this line, which is the best fit line. All right. So these points are mapped on this line. Obviously, we are going to have some variance because these points actually don't lie on the line. But through my angle, I can see. I believe that these points are mapped on this line. So this line is called principal component one for us. All right. Now let me change my view. Now let me look from an angle which is through this line. So if I am standing over here, if my eyes are over here where my cursor is right now, and if I look, then there would be a line which is orthogonal to my principal component one. Principal component one is this line, and this will be my principal component two line. So I will see another line, but it will but it will have a higher variance because the points which are crossed this these points are very far away from this line. Always remember that from PC1, if you are going for PC2, another line, then we take orthogonal line, a line which is orthogonal to a PC1. Okay, so if I go to PC2, then I will see that this points and this PC2 line will have very high variance because these are way far scattered. Samples are way far scattered from this line. All right. So as I have two features, then I will at max will have two principal component lines. So like I have principal component one and principal component two. So which line should I choose? Obviously PC1 because it has very low variance compared to this line. So this is how I just mapped these points on one line, which is our principal component one, PC1, and this is how it's now a one-dimension line. And all these points over this line, which are the points which are over this graph, are now mapped on this. So whatever value we'll have, so this is our PC1 line, and this is how we reduced our two-dimension features into one line, into one-dimension line. All right, so this is the intuition, this is actual algorithm, mathematics behind principal component analysis. So this is how actually it solves the problem of overfitting, and this is how we can reduce the features. Now on this, now with this data points, we can actually run any machine learning algorithm. Let's look at the code now, and you will understand better. Now let us look at the coding part. So first what we'll do, we'll import some libraries. We'll import matplotlib.pyplot.sbld and import cbonus SNS. So these two libraries are for data visualization part. And then we'll be using pandas and numpy for pre-processing part. Okay, so the dataset we'll be using, we would directly import that from sklearn. And our dataset is breast cancer one. So let me first run the libraries and load the dataset. Okay, so our data set that we have is a Python dict, because from sklearn, from datasets, whatever dataset we obtain, it would be in form of a Python dict. So let us just visualize at its keys. So what are the values present here? So yeah, you can see various things like data, target names, then description, features name, file name, all of this. So let us just look at the description regarding the dataset which we are given. So we'll be able to see many things like number of records, right? So like you can see the number of records are 569, and then what are total number of attributes, which is the number of columns. So there will be 30 numeric predictive attributes in 30 columns, and then feature information like what are the information regarding feature will have, like radius, texture, perimeter area, smoothness, all these things like symmetry and fractal dimensions. These are just feature information. And then we will have what are target types, or what are the classes that are present in our dataset. So the classes that are present in our datasets are like this two one, which is malignant and benign. So these are two classes of our dataset. So let us go forward towards understanding PCA. So here I am just creating the pandas data frame from our dataset. Yeah. So as you can see that there would be 30 columns, and as it tf.head, there are 5 rows. So there are just various numeric values all over present in our data set. So, but now let's move forward to PCA visualization. Why looking at this data set was important? Let us go ahead and let's see. So the first step in principal component analysis is the standard normalization. That is, we know that what is standard normalization in any kind of distribution. So in any kind of distribution is said to be standard normalized if its mean is 0 and standard deviation is 1. It's like why I was showing you this data set. So you can see that we have all numeric values ranging from different values. There are different ranges for each column. Like you can see, these are ranging from 120 to 130 to 130, 77, while these are mere just 0.27, 0.7, 0.15. So you can understand how much it's important to standard normalize in our PCA visualization, because eventually what is PCA visualization? So PCA visualization, in which we convert the high dimensional data into low dimensional data into some smaller dimensions, so that we can apply further algorithms on it easily. So you can see that this data has various values of various ranges. So it's important for us to standard normalize it, because data features are important and each feature is equally important, right? So if each feature is equally important, then when we are reducing the dimensions, then each feature is taken into consideration, and when each feature is taken in consideration, we'll want it to have equal value in our data set while reducing the dimensions. So here I am using sklearn from sklearn.preprocessing. I am importing standard scaler. So we'll perform standard scalar from sklearn on our data set, and here its scalar is equal to standard scalar, and scalar dot fit, I will fit our data set, which is TF, and then we'll transfer our data, which is scale data is equal to scalar dot transform TF. Okay. So now, as we are understanding PCA right now, so we'll import PCA from sklearn. So from sklearn.decomposition, we'll import PCA. So PC with scikit-learn uses a very similar process to other pre-processing functions. So like it also comes with as scikit-learn. So what we do is we initiate a PC object. We find the principal components using the fit method, and then we apply the rotation and per dimensionality reduction by calling transform. So this is normally what we'll do. And here we have, as we have import PCA, and then we'll instantiate PCA with number of components. So let's say I want number of components as 2. I want to reduce from 30 components to 2 components. So here I will write PCA and number of components is equal to 2. And now I will fit the scale data. Okay. Now we can transform our scale data into our PC algorithm, and let me give it a name XPCA. So let's see the scale data shape. So yeah, our scale data had 569 data records and 30 columns, 30 attributes, but now we'll have two attributes, two components, because we transform this data into two principal components using sklearn's PCA. Yeah, so you can see that now we have 69 records, but this time we'll have two dimensions. You can also say it like this. So let me run this, and yeah, now we can see that this is an array, and this array for each row or each index in an array has a length of 2, right? It's because we transformed 30 components into two components now. So that's why you can see the array has each element in array has a length of 2, has a list of length 2. So yeah, we have reduced our 30 dimensions into 2. So now let us just plot these dimensions out. Let me move to the visualization part. So like we'll be using PyPlot for visualizing our data, whatever we have done. So right now you can see that I have using plt.scatterplot for this. So what are the inputs here? So you can see that the inputs are our XPCA, all the records, but of the zero index. What does this mean? That it just includes the collection of these data points. It is just an array, or it is just an array which consists of these values, the zero index of our XPCA. Similarly, the second part would be the second component, or I can say the first index of our XPCA in our array, this collection of these points. And then C is equal to data set of target. So you remember our data set from early. It included a column which was about target. And so what was the target? So target were our two values, which are two our classes, and it were in our label data set. So it just gave us a label of whatever class that is corresponding to the numerical values in the particular row. So there were 30 numeric attributes, and corresponding that whatever label we had. So this was our target. So as we are using the scatter plot, then we are using it to visualize corresponding to our components. Okay, so let me run this code. Yeah, now you can see these are two classes. So one would refer to one of the class which is Banang, and one of would refer to Mellingen. So these are two classes corresponding to our data set, and we have plotted. So how we have plotted? So these are our first principal component, and this is our second principal component. And based on this, so we have classified. So now you can see that it looks very. So after having 30 dimensions and reducing it to the 2 dimensions, now we can see that it's very easy for us to understand the data. And now we can use any algorithm, like you can use linear regression as well. So linear regression would give a line going through this. So it will have a line like this that would also give a very good accuracy. You can also use other machine learning algorithms like KNN or any other algorithm. They will also give a good accuracy. So like now as we have reduced the dimensions very well, further we can run any machine learning algorithm on the scale data to predict our target values. As I said, they could be any like linear regression or KNN will get a very good accuracy on this. So what particularly we did using this PCA was dimension reduction. So this is what we see is a part of data preprocessing. We use a PCA algorithm for reducing dimension. Now as if we have 2 dimensions and a target column from our data set, which has 2 classes. So now we can apply everything on our data set, everything like train, test, plate, validation, and we run the machine learning model and we'll get the accuracy. So this is how we can use PCA for data preprocessing, and then we can use any machine learning algorithm on our reduced dimensions, because as we talked earlier, the number of dimensions increases, there's risk in the accuracy, and our accuracy decreases. So we reduce the dimensions, and now we can use this reduced dimensions and apply machine learning algorithm, and eventually our accuracy will also increase.